Today we're going to be talking about Unit 2, Test 2 review, and I'll be going over a few different questions with you. We're going to try and get it all in one video since it's only 11 questions. So the first question says, how many solutions, none, one, or infinite, does each graph have? So the first thing you look at here is you pay attention to the types of lines you have. In this problem, we have a graph that has a line on top of a line. In other words, we want to notice where they are touching. And if you think about it, this line is always going to be touching. No matter what, any point you pick on these two lines is going to have the other line touching it. So since that's the case, this is what we would call infinite solutions. And you can sometimes see it written as infinite. I can't even spell. Infinite solutions. Or sometimes you'll see it written as infinitely many solutions or all real numbers. The next problem, you'll notice that the graph crosses only in one place, and that one place is the solution for these two lines. So this problem would be a case of one solution. And then the last one, the lines are parallel, meaning that we have two lines that are never going to intersect. In other words, it looks like train tracks. So anytime we have two sets of lines that are never going to cross, that's an instance where we have no solution. And no solution can be written one of two ways. With a circle with a line through it, or you can write down the words no solution. So those are your three problems that you had on number one. Expect one of these problems to be on the test tomorrow. In question number two, it says solve the system using elimination. So here I want to pay attention to what I have in this problem. So in the problem, it tells me that I have 3x minus y equals 28, and then I have 3x plus y equals 14. So what I want to do here is see if I have something that will eliminate itself. So here 3x and 3x added together would be 6x, so that doesn't eliminate itself. But here I have a negative y, which is technically a negative 1y, and a positive 1y. So negative 1 plus 1 will actually eliminate itself. So what I can do with a problem like this is just add them together and see what I get. So negative 1 plus 1 will cancel. 3x plus 3x, once again, is going to be our 6x. And then 28 plus 14, that's going to give us, that's going to be 2, should be 2, 3, 4, so it should be 42. So when I divide that by 6 on both sides, that's going to give me an answer of x equals 42 divided by 6 would be 7. So right off the bat, I can actually look at my answers. Here x is 8, so I know that's not a solution. On this one, I know x is negative 7, so that's not a solution. On this one, x is a positive 7, so that's a possible solution. And then on the last one here, x is a negative 4, which is not a solution. Now, if that's the case, then you could stop here and say answer your choice is C. But sometimes you will need to substitute it back in. So what I do when I substitute x equals 7 back in is I pick one of the equations, one or the other. In this case, I'm going to do the bottom one since it's positive. And that's a 3x plus y equals 14. So here we said x is 7, so I'm going to replace the x with a 7 and just solve the problem. So in this one, 3 times 7, we know that's going to give us 21. And then that's 21 plus y equals 14. So to solve this, we would subtract 21 from both sides. 21s would cancel out, and we get y equals negative 7. So with y equals negative 7, then that gives us our second solution, which will tell us that the answer here is C. And remember, we always write our solutions in the form x comma y. So x here would be 7, and y would be negative 7. Number 3 is going to be a word problem, and we're going to have to pay close attention to the words and actually underline important information here. So it says Steve sold 10 packs of markers and 3 packs of pencils for a total of $46. The next day he sold 9 packs of markers and 9 packs of pencils for $54. So there's the important information in my problem. So I'm just going to come over here and set up my equation. So it told me that I have 10 packs of markers, and we're going to call markers M, plus 3 packs of pencils. And the M and the P are going to represent the cost of those. We don't know that yet, because that's actually what we're looking for. How much was each item? So that's going to be equal to the total cost of $46, because it said he made $46, right? The next day, he sold 9 markers and 9 pencils, which totaled to give him 54. So that's how I set up this problem. Now, to actually solve the problem, I have to go through and do some elimination method here. Now, for this particular problem, I have nothing that cancels top and bottom. 10 plus 9 is 19. 3 plus 9 is going to be 12. So nothing cancels out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put parentheses around these two. And then I'm going to take the 9 and put it on top, the 10 and put it on bottom. And then I'm going to change the sign of one of those. Whether it's the 9 or the 10, it doesn't matter here. In this case, I'm going to change the 9. So then just distribute. So negative 9 times 10, that's going to give me a negative 90 m. Then I've got negative 9 times 3, which is going to be a negative 27 p. And that's equal to negative 9 times 46 is going to be 414. And that's actually a negative 414 because we had a negative 9. On bottom, I'm going to do the same thing. So 10 times 9 is going to give me that 90 m so that they cancel. 10 times 9p is going to give me positive 90p. And then that's equal to 10 times 54 is going to give me 540. So all I'm going to do now is add these two things together. So negative 90 plus 90 cancels. Negative 270 plus 90, that's going to give me 63p. And then that's going to be equal to, we've got 140, negative 414 plus 540. So that's actually going to give me, let's see, that's going to be 50, 100. So it's going to give me, it's like 126. Alright, so once I get 126, I'm then going to divide both sides by 63. 63 is cancel out, and p is going to be equal to 2. Alright, so once p is equal to 2, once I figure that out, I can actually go back and substitute in and solve for the rest of it. So when I substitute in a 2 for p, I'll do the top one here. I'm going to take the original, which in this case was 10m plus 3p. Now I'm going to go ahead and change that p to a 2. And then that's equal to 46. So once I get that information, I know 3 times 2, that's going to give me 6. So I can say 10m plus 6 equals 46. And then I want to subtract 6 from both sides, solve it like a 2-step equation. And I get 10m is equal to 40. Divide both sides by 10. And I find out here that m is going to be equal to 4. So m is equal to 4, p is equal to 2. So when I go back to my answer choices, I can mark that one out because of the negative 2. Both are negative there. Here I've got a positive 4 and a positive 2 for C, so C is going to be our correct answer. And then D doesn't work because it's a negative 4. Continuing on to number 4. Number 4 I would actually solve using substitution because in this problem, get my ink back. In this problem, I'm going to have a y equals 3x minus 5, and that can actually be substituted into the other. So for the bottom there, I have 6x minus 2y. So instead of y, I'm going to put 3x minus 5 because of the substitution. I'm just replacing y with 3x minus 5. And then it says it's equal to 15. So now I can solve the problem. So that's going to give me 6x. Negative 2 times 3 is going to be a negative 6x. And then negative 2 times negative 5 is going to give me a positive 10. And that's equal to 15. So negative 6 minus 6 is going to cancel and give me 0. So that tells me here that I got 10 is equal to 15. Now, in no way is 10 ever equal to 15. That does not make sense. So this means that the answer would be no solution. Keep in mind with problems like this, if the two numbers don't make sense, it is no solution. But if it was something like 10 equals 10, and that makes sense, then that would actually mean infinite solutions. So sometimes you'll have to pay attention to what it's giving you. If it makes sense, it's infinite. If it doesn't make sense, it's no solution. And then anything else would have an X here. So in this case, it's no solution, so we choose answer choice A, which is none. Number 5 wants to know which ordered pair represents the solution to the system of equations. So in this one, it's not as easy as the other. Both of these are mixed up, or actually have nothing to cancel. So what I'm going to do is put these in parentheses, and I'm going to take the 2 off the bottom and put it on top. This is understood 1, so I'm going to put the 1 on the side. And then I just change the sign of one of them. It doesn't matter which one. So distributed number, so negative 2 is going to be distributed to all three of these parts. So that's going to be negative 2 times 1 is negative 2x. Negative 2 times 3x is going to be negative 6x. Negative 2 times negative 17 is going to be a positive 34. On bottom, 1 is not going to change anything there, so 1 times 2 is 2x, 1 times 3 is 3y, and 1 times negative 7 is negative 7. So nothing changes on bottom. Alright, so my x's are going to cancel out because negative 2 plus 2 is 0. Negative 6 plus 3 is going to give me a negative 3x. And then 34 minus 7, that's going to give me a 27. So from here I can divide both sides by negative 3. And that's going to give me an answer of x equals negative 9. So once I know x is equal to negative 9, oh, no. Sorry. See, I made a mistake. So it should be y, right? So these should be y's. I was looking at that top variable. So y is going to be equal to, don't make that mistake, okay? That's y is equal to negative 9. Now, once I have y is equal to negative 9, I'll take one of my originals. I'm going to take the top one, which was x plus 3y equals negative 17. And all I'm going to do there is just substitute in a negative 9 for y. So that's x plus 3, should be a positive 3. I don't know where that came from. Alright, but it's positive 3, and then y is going to be negative 9 equals negative 17. So 3 times negative 9, that's going to be negative 27, is equal to negative 17. From here I add 27 to both sides. 27's cancel out. That's going to give me x equals negative 17 plus 27. It's going to give me a positive 10. So x is equal to 10. So that's not a solution. That's not a solution. That's not a solution. So D is my solution because x is 10 and y is negative 9. The last problem on this page is going to be another word problem, so we want to make sure we know how to underline our information. Looks like we're going to have 2 videos tonight. But this problem is pretty simple. It says Carlos works at a movie theater selling tickets. The theater has 300 seats. That's important information, so let's underline it. So 300 seats. And he charges $7.50 for adults and $5.50 for children. And then it says the theater expects there to be at least $2,000 for each showing. So which system would represent the situation? So setting this up as a piece of cake, all you have to do here is pay attention to your totals. My first total is 300. My other total is $2,000. Now, money, the way I relate money here is I say $2,000. Well, I have to have money to relate it to money, so that's going to probably go back to this $7.50 for adults and $5.50 for children, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say $7.50 for adults, so $7.50 for adults, and I'll call adults A, plus $5.50 for children. And we said that it has to be at least $2,000, so whatever this is on this side, it actually has to be greater than or equal to be at least $2,000. And you can put in your own variables for this later. Then I know that there's going to be 300 seats, right? 300 seats. So that's going to be made up of adult seats and children's seats. So for a total, we're going to add the adult seats plus the children's seats, and we should get a total of 300. Now, obviously we can't go over 300, so it has to be anything less than or equal to 300 on that. So once we get those two, you can actually substitute in x if you want to for A. You can substitute in y for C. That way it matches up to what we have here. But we're just going to look for the one that has the exact same answer, or same solution. So we got x plus y. X plus y is less than or equal to 300. That checks out. 7.5x plus 5.5y is greater than or equal to 200 or 2,000. So that sounds like A is going to be our correct answer. Check all your other answers though. This one doesn't work because of the doesn't have an equal to, so B doesn't work. Also, well, that's the only reason it doesn't work. The next one we have x plus y is less than or equal to, so the top works. Bottom says 7.5x plus the sign's turned around backwards, so that doesn't work. And then we got x plus y. Once again, the sign's messed up on this one, so that doesn't work. So here the correct answer would be A. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pause this video, upload it, and then I will be recording a second video since we're about out of time on this one. So we'll do the back to this, we'll do other problems. It should be a lot faster. Those problems weren't too bad. But we'll work through the problems and make sure you guys are ready for the test tomorrow, okay? So I'll see you in a second.